In this video series, we're going to be making ourselves a 4-page website about Isuzu Ute Australia. As you can see at the top, we've got a menu bar that's going to run along the top of every page. We've got a nice big banner on our home page here, and as we scroll down, we've got a bit of information about the company and a video that plays one of their TV commercials. Okay, I won't play that now. Going across to the dmax page, we've got a bit of information about one of the cars they sell and just a link to their official website for some more info. Same goes for the MUX page, nice big header, some information about the car and the hyperlink. And on the final page, which is the contact page, we have a Google map at the top, which is interactive, so you can zoom in and out and get directions to your destination. And down the bottom, we've just got a bit of information where you can contact the company and see what time they open up. Alright, so to get started on our website today, we need to go into our accounts and pop into our web design folder. And you need to make a new folder called Isuzu Website. Inside of the Isuzu website, you're going to have two more folders, one called Images and one called Media. Now you need to copy the images from Curriculum Drive across into your Images folder. They're the three banners that you found at the top of three of those web pages. Okay, so there's not too many pictures in this website. Back in the other folder, which is the Media folder, we've got that video, which was the TV commercial. Okay, so you copy that from Curriculum Drive and dump it into the Media folder as well. Now there's two written documents as well that you're going to need. To put that Google map into your website, you're going to need a bit of code. Okay, so here's the code here. That's straight off the Google Maps website, and I'll show you how to access that later on. And we've got some written information, okay, which basically looks like this. It's got the writing that goes onto each of the web pages. So I've done that for you to save you the time needed to write it all up yourself. Okay, so the 4 pages, all the writing's there ready for you to put onto your site. Alright, so let's get started on building this website. We will begin today with the HTML part, so that's just getting the basic structure of our site and the information into our website, and then we'll use some CSS coding in one of the next videos to style up our website and make it look good. Okay, so once you're in brackets, we're going to make ourselves a new document, and before we type anything, we're going to save it. So go to Save As. Now we need to go back to our accounts and find that folder we just created today, which is the Isuzu website. Just go into it, and we're going to call this one index.html. Now the home page for any website should be called index.html. Okay, it's just a rule of thumb to always call your home page the index page. We'll click on Save. Alrighty, so the first thing we're going to do, like usual, we're going to give it our doc type tag at the top, just to tell the computer we are making a HTML document. Then we're going to open up our HTML tag. Now, for something a little bit different that we haven't done before, good practice when you are creating a website and it's written in English is to tell the web page that you're actually using English. So what you need to do after the HTML up here, still inside the HTML tag, just put a space, write the letters lang, which stands for language, okay, and write equals, and in quotation marks, write EN, and then you can close off your pointy brackets. So that little bit of code there, lang equals EN, basically says you've used the English language to mark up this website. Okay, coming down below the HTML tag, we've got the head tag like usual, so put that on in. Inside the head tag, we've got a title, and the title is going to be Isuzu Ute Australia. Now usually we leave some room for our style tags, but we're not going to do that today. Okay, so we're going to come back to the head section a bit later on and work with those style tags, but we're going to do it in a different location in this tutorial. You'll see what I mean a bit later on. So we're going to go outside the head tags now and go straight down to the body section. Okay, so inside the body section, this is the part which is going to appear on our actual screen, so in the web browser. First thing we want to put in is a nice big heading. Okay, so we're going to use a H1 tag to write in this heading, and we're going to write Isuzu Ute Australia again. So it's going to appear at the top of our page. Coming in below that, we're going to create a navigation bar. So we're going to use the nav tag for our navigation bar. Now remember, our navigation bar is basically made up of an unordered list. Okay, so put in the UL tags, and we're going to have 4 items in this unordered list. So let's put in the LI tags, which stands for list item. Now the first link we want to put in will be to our home page. After that, I'm going to put in another list item, and it's going to be going to the dmax page. After that, we'll put in another list item. This time it will be the mux page. And the final list item that we're going to be putting in is the contact page. So that little section there inside the nav tags is basically our menu bar. It's not styled up at all just yet. Basically it's a bunch of bullet points with those 4 buttons. Okay, they aren't even buttons yet because we haven't made a link to them, but that is how our navigation bar is going to look for the moment. Okay, we're going to come back and style it up a bit later on. Okay, after the nav bar, we're going to go down and we're going to stick an image in, which is one of those big banners. Okay, so let's put in our image source code, and we're going to look inside our images folder, and we're going to select the main banner.jpg. And don't forget to put in some alternate text, just in case people can't display that picture on their screens. We need to have some text in place of it, so we might just call it banner and close off the pointy bracket. That's our image source all sorted. So I might save what we've got so far by pressing Ctrl S, and I'm just going to go up to the lightning bolt here to have a live preview of how our website is coming along. Probably going to look pretty ugly at the moment, but it's a start. There's our H1 heading sitting at the top. There's our nav bar, and there's our nice big banner. Okay, nothing too flash yet, but it is a start. So back over to brackets now. Coming down below the image, we're going to put in the writing. So we're going to put in an article tag. Inside the article, we're going to start with a nice big heading. Okay, and I'm pretty sure this heading, yeah, it's over here. So I'm going to copy some text from about Isuzu Ute all the way down to where it says throughout the entire country. I'm simply going to copy all of that text, pop back into brackets, and I'm just going to paste it in. So I'll press Ctrl V. You might need to highlight all this and just press Tab a few times to nudge that over so it's indented along with the rest of the text. Now this first line that says about Isuzu Ute needs to be a H2 heading, so just whack the H2 tags around that heading. Okay, below that we've got a paragraph coming up. Okay, so we want a new paragraph below that heading, so I'm going to put in my P tag, and it's going to finish over here after the words behind us. So I'm going to close the paragraph off. I'll press enter so I can actually see where that paragraph ends. I'm going to do this a few times actually. So after the word technology, which is there, we're going to press enter. After the word engine, we're going to press enter, and there's our 4 paragraphs. So copy and paste that P tag to the start of each of those 4 paragraphs, and then you can copy and paste the closing P tag at the end of each of those 4 paragraphs. Okay, so here's our bottom one here, our 3rd paragraph there, 2nd paragraph there, and our 1st paragraph there. So hopefully you can see those little P's highlighted in green. That just shows you where I made my paragraphs. So make sure yours are all the same as that. Once you've got your paragraph split up, make sure you close off the article tag. That is the main section of our writing, or the article, all done. So saving that, I'm going to press Ctrl S and then pop back over and just have a look at how that looks in the website. I can see my 4 paragraphs, and I can see my nice H2 heading standing out. Alright, so it's starting to come together a little bit now. Below all that text, we're going to put in a section that plays the video. Okay, so I'm going to actually use the section tag for this part. It's not the main article, it's just a little section on its own. And inside that section, I'm going to put in the tag for video. Okay, inside that video tag, we just put in source, and then write src equals, and we point to the source, of our video. So it's in the media folder, and it's called isuzu.mp4. So we'll place that in, and we're going to close up our source tag. Okay, that little section there simply puts a video into our document. If I save it and preview it, you should see a video down the bottom. Now the issue with this video is it's got no control bar, so I can't pause it and play it unless I just click on it once. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just to bring in that little control bar, I'm going to go back to my first video tag here, and after the word video, I'm just going to put in the word controls. That goes inside the pointy brackets. And when I save that and have a look, you can see now I've got the play button, got the volume, go to full screen if I want. I can actually play the video. Okay, so that was good. Last thing I'm going to do is put a footer at the bottom which has a copyright statement. Okay, so we're outside of the section tags now. We're going down a little bit further and we're going to put in a footer tag. Inside the footer tag, you're simply going to write copyright. Then we're going to do the copyright sign. So remember, we have to write it in the special way. So that's and copy semicolon. That will make that little copyright symbol for us. Put the year, which is 2016, and Isuzu Ute Australia. Alright, so that's our footer. Save that and give it a test run. And we can see our footer hiding in below the video there. So that's all the information we need on our home page or our index page now. Okay, it's looking pretty good. What I'm going to do now is start to save the other pages up. Okay, and I might be able to save it with a lot of this writing. Well, actually, I'll just do some copy and pasting shortly. So what I'm going to do is go to File and New, and File and Save As. So the next page is dmax.html. So click on Save. Oops, I'm in the wrong folder, so let's go back over to the folder where I've saved all this stuff. There we go. So in my Isuzu website, you'll have dmax.html, click Save. Okay, and then I'm going to go Save As and do the same thing again, but this time I'm going to call it mux.html, just to tell it it's a web page. Save that. And finally, we're going to go to Save As, and we're going to call this one contact.html. Click Save. Okay, so on the left hand side here you should have two of the files open, the index page which we've been working on and the contact page. If I just go to File and Open, I should be able to open up those other two that I created just before, which was the dmax page and the mux page. So select both of those and open them up. Okay, so now you've got all four files that you want down the left hand side here: index, dmax, mux and contact pages. Alright, what I'm going to do next is start creating the dmax page. Okay, and to make the dmax page, it's a lot of the same code as what's on this index.html page. So I'm going to do a bit of a copy and paste job. Okay, so I'm going to highlight the doc type, and I'm going to go all the way down. I'm going to keep the menu bar, the image. I'm going to go just before the article, I think. Alright, and I'm going to copy that by pressing Ctrl C. Going back to the dmax page and pressing Ctrl V to paste. And we're just going to reword a little bit of this. Okay, so at the top, the doc type stays the same. HTML and language as English stays the same. In the head section, the title, we're going to change that to Isuzu dmax. Oh geez, I've got caps lock playing up, so there we go. So it's in capitals, dmax. Alright, so that's going to be our title just there. Beneath that title, we've got the body section where it says Isuzu Ute Australia. We're going to change that again, and it's going to say dmax. So, Isuzu dmax in that H1 heading. And the nav bar, it's going to stay exactly the same. The links aren't changing. The position of it's not going to change. And down here in the images, it's going to go to quick edit. Oops, you can't quick edit it. It's not the main banner that we want anymore anyway, so inside the images folder we're looking for the dmax banner.jpg. Okay, the alternate text this time will just say dmax banner. So I didn't explain that very clearly, but just make sure you've got the right image selected there. We're doing the dmax page, so you want the dmax banner at the top with the alternate text set to dmax banner. Alright, so that's looking good. Coming up after that is the article section. So this is the written part of our web page now. So I'm going to go back to my Word document, scroll down and find the dmax page writing, and I'm basically going to copy it, and I'm going to go paste it in. So I'm just going to press Ctrl C to copy, and back inside the article section, Ctrl V to paste it in. Now I'm just going to highlight all this and just press Tab and get it across in line with that heading. Now it says introducing the Isuzu dmax, we're going to put that in H2 heading tags, just to make it stand out a bit from the body text. Alright, coming down below that, we've just got a few paragraphs happening. So, the first one is a paragraph. Don't forget to move that closing tag by cutting it out. Control X will cut and put it after the word done. That creates our first paragraph. Down a little bit further now, you can see we've got some dot points here. We've got a few of them. Just talking about different features of the dmax. So what we're going to do for that is actually make it into an unordered list again. So I'm going to put in the UL tag, and that closing UL tag is going to go below that last paragraph. Not the click here one. Just after that peace of mind, you want to put in the unordered list. Alright, so inside that unordered list, we've got a few different list items that we need to put in. Okay, first one is here where it says go further, spend less. What we're going to do is put in a list item, and remember to move that closing tag to the end of the paragraph, which is after the word sweat, just there. Okay, so that is our first list item that goes into our list. I'm going to press tab on that to tab it across, which we're going to need to do for these other ones as well. That's the same deal. For each bullet point, we're just turning it into a list item. So everywhere you see those little hyphens, just turn them into list items. And don't forget at the end of each paragraph to close off your list item. Can be a copy and paste job if you'd like. Alright, so there's our 4 list items inside the unordered list. Let's save that and have a look at how it's going. So here's our dmax page with a nice big heading, same nav bar as before. We've got a new dmax banner, and we've got a little section down the bottom talking about the dmax. You can see these bullet points popping up just here. Now the last bit on this page is the hyperlink pretty much. So where it says click here to find out more about the Isuzu dmax, I've got a link there that we're going to use to turn this into a hyperlink. Alright, so I'm going to make a new paragraph for it to begin with. So here's the letter P. Don't forget to close it off at the end. Now to make a hyperlink after the paragraph tag, we're going to put in the ahref tag. So ahref equals, and we're going to basically cut this code and paste it in between those 2 quotation marks. And we're going to close off our pointy bracket after that .aspx. Alright, then we're going to grab that closing A tag, Control X that, and put it after the words click here. That now makes the words click here our hyperlinks. When we click on the words click here, it's actually going to take us to the Isuzu Ute website. And you probably want that to pop up in a new tab as well. So back after the .aspx, outside those quotation marks, but still inside the pointy bracket, you just want to write target equals underscore blank. That little section of code there will allow that link to be opened up in a new tab. Right, so if we save that and have a look, we have got our hyperlink down the bottom. If you hover over it and click it, you'll probably see that it loads up the Isuzu website. Alrighty, so that's looking good. Actually, there is one more thing I want to do on this page, and that's our footer section. So I'm just going to close off the article section there. So there's the closing tag. Below the article, we put in the footer. Inside the footer tag, same as before, copyright, do the copyright symbol, and it's 2016 Isuzu Ute Australia. Alright, so closing off our tags for good now. We've got the closing body tag and the closing HTML tag to put in. Alright, that's our dmax page done. If you have a look at it, it should be looking something like that. Pretty basic to begin with. You can see what a difference CSS code makes to these pages. Now I'm going to highlight a good chunk of this and bring it over to the MUX page because it's set out exactly the same way. We just need to change the photos pretty much. Alright, so I've copied that first part. I'm going over to the MUX page now and pasting that in. Now inside that MUX section, we just want to change the title tags first. Instead of saying dmax, we want it to say mu-x. In the body section, the H1 heading needs to say mu-x. The nav bar is going to stay as it is, and just down in the image source, we're just going to change that. So I'm just going to delete our image source at the moment. And if you type in the quotation marks, you should be able to pick the images folder and select the MUX banner. Okay, the alternate text will just need to be changed to represent the MUX banner. Alrighty, so that's the top part of our page done. We'll just press Ctrl S to save that and go and have a preview. So you can see our H1 heading at the top, nav bar coming in below that, and our MUX banner. So we're off to a good start. Now after that, if we go back and look at the dmax code here, we put in our article section. Okay, so I might just quickly add those article tags. So after the image, we're going to put in the article tags, and inside the article tags, it's basically our writing. So back in that Microsoft Word document, where am I? MUX page we're looking for. We want to get to the introducing the Isuzu MUX line and highlight all the way down to that hyperlink. Press Ctrl C to copy that, pop back into brackets, and Ctrl V to paste. And don't forget to highlight that text, and just press Tab a few times to indent that just across so it's inside the article tags. Now, first section, the introducing the Isuzu MUX, is our H2 heading, so let's put that in. Don't forget to move the closing H2 tags across to the end there. After that, just press Enter once, and we're going to start ourselves a new paragraph. Once you put in the P tag, remember to cut out the closing P tag, and you want to move that all the way down to after the word in between. And we're going to drop the closing P tag there. Below that first paragraph, we've got some bullet points. Okay, you can see these little hyphens appearing for 4 bullet points, basically describing features of the car. What we want to do, like we did back on the dmax page, is turn that into an unordered list. Alright, so let's do up the UL tags. I'm just going to cut the closing UL tag out, and I'm going to put that down below, whoops, after the last dot point. So saving your money is the end of the dot points, or the bullet points, and so you can put the UL tag there. Now all these bullet points, they can be tabbed across now, so they go inside the UL tags. Now each of these bullet points needs to be a list item, so I'm going to highlight the hyphen plus the little gap next to it and just delete it and replace it with an LI tag. Don't forget to cut out the closing LI tag and move it to the end of the line. So the first one's going to be after the word entertained. And then we go down to the next one where the 3-ton towing is and add in a new list item, and then move the closing list item tag after the word want. Okay. Going down again, we've got another one here for the off-road adventure. Let's make a list item for that. And after the word ride, we're going to close that list item off. And finally, the fuel efficient section. We put in a list item tag, and after the word money, we close that list item off. Okay, don't forget your unordered list will close at that point. So if we save that up now and have a look, we should have our first paragraph and then a few dot points. Coming in below that, you can see that we need to put in a hyperlink, just like we did on the dmax page. So where it says the word click here, that's what we want to turn into a hyperlink. Alright, so make a new paragraph. Whoops, I shouldn't have put the letter O, I should have the letter P for a new paragraph. Remove the closing tag after the word MUX. Now we want to cut this hyperlink out, so press Ctrl X, and you're left with this line here that says click here to find out more about the Isuzu MUX. What we're going to do is make our hyperlink now. So after the P tag, we're going to put in the A tag. So A, and then we're going to write href equals, now paste, so Ctrl V, paste in that website that you cut out before. And we want this to open up in a new tab, so we're just going to write in target equals underscore blank, in quotation marks there, and then close off our pointy bracket. Okay, so we've got ahref equals, and we put in the hyperlink we want this link to go to, and then we've also got a space and put target equals blank, which opens up our link in a new tab. Don't forget to move this closing A tag, so cut it out by pressing Ctrl X and moving it after the words click here. That way, click here will now become the hyperlink, which will take us to that website. Easy enough. If we save that, have a look, you can see there's our hyperlink down the bottom. Okay, if I click it, you see the new tab pop up. Easy. Okay, that's the end of our article section, so we can go down below the article section now and put in our footer, which is the copyright statement. So make yourself a footer tag. Inside the footer section, just put in copyright. Do the copyright symbol, which is and copy semicolon. Put the Ute and Isuzu Ute Australia. And our footer should be closed off. We'll close off our body section and close off our HTML section. Alright, so that should be our MUX page done for now. I'll just save it, preview it. It's looking pretty good to me. So we're up to our last page now, which is the contact page. Alright, so again we're going to do a bit of a copy and paste job. Okay, if you're looking at the top of your page, you want to highlight from line 1, which is the doc type tag, all the way down to the bottom of the nav bar. Okay, you don't want the image this time, there's no banner at the top of the contact page, so just select on mine the first 17 lines. Copy that, go over to the contact page, press Ctrl V to paste that in. As we go through that code, you just want to change the title here where it says Isuzu MUX. The title for this one is actually Contact Isuzu Ute. Okay, going down a little bit further, we've got the closing head tags. We start the body. The H1 tag at the top of this one is actually going to say Isuzu Ute Australia again. After the H1 tags, we've got our nav bar, we've got the unordered list like usual, and our list items will stay exactly the same. And that will be the end of our nav bar. Coming in below the nav bar, we've got the article section, which is the main section of our page. First thing we're going to do, we'll tab across and put in some H2 tags and write the words Contact Us. Now below the Contact Us heading, we're going to put in a Google map. And it's an interactive one, so it can be zoomed in and out. And it's going to show us the address of the Isuzu Ute store closest to our school. So if I go back to the internet, I'll just close that example off for a sec. I've done a search for Pacific Isuzu Ute, which is on the Nicklin Way at Curramundi, and it's spotted it on Google Maps here. Okay, it's found Pacific Isuzu Ute. What we are going to do now is click on this share button, and it gives us a bit of code. Okay, that's not the code we want to put in our website. What we want to do is click on the tab that says Embed Map. Now this is what lets us put it into our website. Okay, so it doesn't matter what size you choose the map for now. You can have small, medium, large, or a custom size. We're actually going to change it anyway. So highlight that code and copy it. And then you can just simply go and paste it into brackets, and a Google map will appear on your page. Okay, so let's go over to brackets. I'm going to go down below that Contact Us section. We're going to put in a new paragraph for this map. So I put in the P tags and I simply press Ctrl V. And a whole bunch of code's going to appear. Okay, might not make a lot of sense, but basically that's going to put in the map for Pacific Isuzu Ute. Now there's a few things we want to change on this. First of all, the width and the height. Okay, we don't need that there yet. We're going to style that up in our CSS a bit later on. So delete the width and the height tags. We don't want them. The other thing, frame border and the border equaling 0 there. We don't need those either. Okay, they are outdated pieces of code actually, or the frame border is, so just delete those. So any bit of code you need at the end after the orange stuff is allow full screen. Okay, and you'll see that the iframe closes off, and that should be all we need to get a Google map into our page. So I'm just saving that and testing it, and there it is. You can zoom in and out and do whatever you need to do. Okay, we're going to code that up a little bit better with our CSS styling and make it a lot bigger so it's easier to use a bit later on. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Coming in below that, I'm just going to press enter a couple of times. We're going to put in a H3 heading this time, so even smaller heading, and it's going to say Pacific Isuzu Ute. That's our local Isuzu Ute store. And below that, we're going to put in some contact details. And I'm going to do it inside a table. It's going to be a 3-column table. So start by putting in a table tag. And then we're going to put in the first row of the table. So put in your TR tags. To populate this row with some data, you need to put in a table data tag. So it's a TD tag. And inside the TD tags, what we're going to do is write the word address. Okay, I spelled that wrong. We need a double D there. I want the word address to appear in bold, so I'm just going to put some strong tags around it so it makes the word address in bold. So on the next line, we're going to put in a line break, so just write in the BR tag. And next to BR, we're going to write in the address. So 723 Nicklin Way. And then we're going to put in another line break on the next line. So just do the BR tag again. And what is it? Currimundi. So Currimundi, Queensland 4551. Okay. So that is where we write our address. Still inside these TD tags, we're going to add a little bit more information. We're going to just make a new paragraph for it. Okay, so first thing we're going to do inside these P tags, let's pop over here, we're going to write in bold letters again, so we're going to put in the strong tags. I'm going to write the word contact. Okay, going down to the next line, we're going to put in a line break once again. So write the BR tag. We're going to use bold text again, so write the word strong again. Inside the strong tags, we're just going to write the word phone with a colon. Now outside of those strong tags, we're going to put in the phone number for this business. Okay, so I'm going to put a space after that closing strong tag, write 07 in brackets, and write 54384888. On to the next line, same thing, just do the BR tag, we'll put it in strong letters again, which is bold text, and we're going to write fax this time. So after the closing strong tag, we're going to write the fax number, so 5438 4899, and we've got one more line here we want to put in, so we'll make one more line break. Put in the strong tag, and we're going to write the word email with a colon. And outside of the strong tag there, we're going to put in an email address. So it's going to be inquiries@pacificisuzu.com. Okay, so that will do us for that paragraph. We've already closed it off, so a lot of information in that first TD section. If we save it and have a look, you can see it's fairly simple at the moment. That's our H3 heading sitting there, and this is the start of our table down here. Okay, basically the first column of our table. So let's keep adding to it. We've got a bit to go just yet. So after that closing TD tag, we're going to press enter a couple of times and make a bit of space. We're going to put the next column into our table, so another TD tag is needed. Inside that TD tag, we're going to tab across, and we're going to put in some strong text again. It's going to say sales opening hours, and we'll close off that strong text. And pop down to the next line, and we're basically going to put in the opening hours of the sales department. Okay, it's a bit tedious this part, but we'll roll with it. We've got to do a line break first of all, and write for Monday. And I'm going to do, 8 AM to 5:30 PM. Now, I'm going to highlight that row, copy it by pressing Ctrl C, and I'm going to go paste it in a few times down there, and just rename these days of the week, because they're open similar times most days. Okay, so you want to have Monday through to Sunday there. Now they open at 8 o'clock every day except Sunday. So on Sunday they are closed. So we'll write in closed. Now the other thing is the closing times. They're open until 5:30 every day except Saturday, which we need to change to 4 p.m. Okay, so just make sure you've got the right times that Pacific Isuzu is open. Once you have, you can close that TD section off, which basically finishes that column in the table. If we save it and have a look now, here's our second column of our table. Sure, it looks ugly, but that's fine for now. We do need to put one more column into our table, so let's go below those TD tags you just put in, and we'll do the last one. So put in the final set of TD tags. Again, we're going to put in some strong text, which makes it bold, and our heading this time is available at the dealership. Okay, so some of the services this dealership provide. And if we go down to the next line, we're just going to make a unordered list. Okay, inside the UL tags, make a list item. First one is sales. After sales, we'll just press enter. I need to scroll down again. We'll put in another list item. As well as sales, they have services taking place, and the last list item is spare parts. Alrighty, so close that unordered list off if you haven't done so already. Close that TD section off, and below that you should already have it. The table row will be closed off as well. So it's just a one row table with 3 columns in it, so you can close the table off after that. And then below that we've got the article section that is closed off. We're nearly done. We'll just put the footer section in like usual, which is the copyright statement. So copyright, do the copyright symbol, which is the end copy, semicolon, 2016 Isuzu Ute Australia. Okay, after the footer we can close our body section off and close our HTML section off. So just double check you got all that code right. It was quite confusing there for a little while, but when you save it and preview it, you should have something looking like that. An extremely ugly looking contact page, but you've got all the information you need in there. Alrighty. Now, one thing I want to put in, which I haven't done yet, is the hyperlink to make this email address work. Okay, if we just scroll back up, you'll notice about here we've got that email address. We want to make it so people can click on that link and they can send an email from their email account. So basically, just before this email address, I want you to do the A tag and write href equals. Now those quotation marks need to go around that email address. Okay? And then close those quotation marks off. Now what you need to do to make this an email link, at the moment it's just a hyperlink. Before the word inquiries, write the word mail to. It's all one word, and then do a colon. That little bit of code there just tells the computer that it's going to be an email link. So open up the email account and send an email to that address. Okay, once you've got that in, just between the closing bracket there and the closing A tag, put in that email address one more time, because we want that to actually appear on our screen as the hyperlink. And that ought to do us. So we'll save that and just double check that's working. There it is there, and you can hover over it and see in the bottom left hand corner it's a mail to link, so an email link. So that's looking good. Alrighty, so I think that is all the HTML part of our website looking pretty sweet. What I want to do now before I finish off this video is get this menu bar actually linked up. Okay, at the moment, as you see, it's just a bunch of dot points. What we want to do is make these into hyperlinks. They're not going to look any good in this video. That's going to be in the next one, but we do want to get them linked up so that you can click on them and go to another page. So I might start on the index page, and then we'll just do a copy and paste job across to the others. So I'm back on the index page now, looking in my nav section at the first list item, which says home. Okay, inside the LI section, we're going to go just before the word home, and we're going to add the href tag, so we're making a hyperlink. Okay, basically you want to link it to the index page. That's our home page. Close off your brackets, highlight the closing A tag there, and just move that to the other side of home. Okay, so highlighted in green now is what we just added in. ahref equals index.html. The word home is now going to be a hyperlink, and then closing A tag will close that link off. Do that for the other pages. Okay, so for dmax, it's going to be ahref equals, and we want it to go to the dmax page. Move the closing a tag to the other side of dmax. Same for mux, ahref equals. This time we're going to mux.html. Cut out the closing a tag and stick it at the end. And finally, ahref equals. We're looking for contact.html. Move that closing a tag around to the back of contact. That'll do it. So let's just save that and check the index page and make sure it's looking good. And you can see that they're all linked up now. When you click on these, it should take you to each of the pages. Alright, so it does, looking good. So what I'm going to do now is just copy that section of code, the 4 list items. So just press Ctrl C once you've got them highlighted. That can be pasted onto all the other pages now in place of what's there. So I'm going to highlight on the dmax page those 4 list items and simply press Ctrl V, and that will replace what was there with the new code. I'll save that, go to the MUX page now. I'm going to highlight those 4 list items and press Ctrl V to paste in over the top that code. I'll save it and go to the contact page and do the same. Okay, so the list items basically got updated with a bit of code. Now if you go and check your pages, they should all be linked up. You can get through to all of those pages now with a simple menu bar at the top. Alrighty, so that's it for the HTML part. Okay, that's all we're going to do in this video. What we're going to do in the next video is create a style sheet where we can put our CSS code in and make this website look a lot prettier. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video now and I'll see you in part 2.